Hello, 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 everybody. I'm back. I am back. I am back. I am back. Let's see while I'm back if we can go ahead and check out what's going on over here before I get started. I am definitely happy to be back. Y'all know I make set all these goals for myself, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and then, life gets to lifing and things get to happening, and I end up doing true Monique J fashion. I get to doing too much, right? So, first, before I get to talking too much, now I am going to ask you guys, I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping. I'm going to ask you if you have not already subscribed to the Monique J channel, which is this Let's Be Honest show. If you have not done that already, while I am getting ready to talk to y'all about what I'm going to talk to y'all about today, please, please, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let a sister know that you are here, that you like my content. Make sure you see all of the things that I have going on down here below, that you let me get this off of here. Hold on a second, guys, because y'all know your sister. Okay, let us sister know that you like the content. So first, I'm Monique J, CEO. CEO stands for Choose Exceptional Options. Also, if this is your first time here, I am also known as Player 306 on this current season 2 of Netflix's Squid Games: The Challenge. My life ain't last that long, but it lasted long enough for me to, first of all, enjoy the experience, as well as you guys get to see me. You gotta be watching. I live a while. I don't go home fast. So I am someone who is a person who just believes in going for what you want, speaking your mind. That's why this station is called Let's Be Honest. I try to always do everything from a good space, though, so that when I'm sharing my thoughts, right? We got to understand this. And I got a disclaimer down there below that lets you know this is my thoughts, my views, my opinions about the things that I choose to talk about on this channel. So, with that being said, if you have not already hit the subscribe button, please hit it. If you're just now coming in, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. But today's topic is going to be very, 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 very interesting. I am 55 years young, so that means that I have a good length of experience with relationships, okay? Hold on, let me see, because I want to put something in here for you all. Give me a second for you all to be able to, if you want to donate to a sister, you can. Um, Buy me a tea. Y'all know I am the tea lady, and you can do that. And I'm gonna do this. Let's see. You can buy me a tea, and or you can donate what you want using these particular things. Y'all know I'm doing a many of things, and it ain't none of it free for me to do. So, with that being said, I most definitely will take any donations that you are willing to give. You guys tell me if this banner is thick enough for you when I get to doing it. Because sometime, there we go. Let's see. All right, let's see if it gets bigger. It doesn't. So let me see. Hold on, guys. Now we're gonna try to adjust this size for y'all. Okay, border width. Let's see. Margins. There we go. All right, y'all. We're getting it. Sorry, y'all got to be learning with me, but hey, we doing it. We making this thing do what it do, okay? So let's see. That ain't necessarily working. I'm gonna get in on. So y'all, I don't know. I'm gonna talk while I'm working this hit thing out. I don't know if you all have watched or are current watchers of owns the Belle Collective. If you are not, I definitely, because it's a show full of melanated women, I definitely suggest you watching it. Why not give them some support? But it is the content for today, because it just supports a topic that is important to me. Uh, on the brink of me about to do my women's retreat, which is called the Release, Revive, Refuel Retreat, which is about sisterhood and building sisterhood through, first of all, genuine relationships, through um, being confident, self-confident within yourself, and understanding that the only competition that you have, or that you should only be you trying to outdo you every day. That is something that is super, super, super important to me. And so with that being the case, I like to watch these shows, or these different shows that kind of touch on relationships. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna go slower. Touch on female relationships, us being honest with each other, and just truthfully dealing with one another based on us fully looking at ourselves in the mirror. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys put this over on here so y'all know what is one of my ups. Hold on, y'all. This is what happened when your own producer. See, this is why we need them donations, so I can get me a super producer. But in the meantime, between time, y'all already know your girl is not gonna let nothing stop her. All right, so I'll just put this on really quick over here. Let the ladies sit over here. Um, so this is the Belle Collective, of course. I'm trying to get this text, y'all. Hold on. I apologize, y'all. I'm trying to make sure, see why this text isn't bigger. Let's see. Is that it? I feel like it's not. So let me see. There we go. Let's see if that works better. All right. So anyway, so I wanted to touch on this show because right now, currently in my life, I'm not sure about you guys' lives, but I know as a 55 years young woman, I have went through many, many, many different relationships, especially friendships with women and females. And y'all, all I'm gonna say is this: women, ladies, girls, whatever we want to call ourselves, if we don't start being better friends and better people to one another, we are going to constantly have relationships that don't last. We got to be honest with ourselves. There are many times I have had many friendships and many relationships in which the people are playing. I'm just being honest with you. They playing like they are my genuine friend. And I'm going to say friend, I'm going to say family ships. I'm going to say kind of a lot of different relationships, but definitely we're going to talk about quote unquote girlfriends. And when I say playing like they're my friend, I'm saying playing like, because as I got older, I realized that it was a lot of little side things, side jabs, the ways that people move, some of the things that they say that you don't realize in the time, that is really showing that these people are not your friend. They really are not team you. And the reason why they're not team you is because they're not team themselves. I am a firm believer in there's no way that you're going to be able to get someone to you're not going to be able to get someone to be true and genuine and authentic to you if they're not true and genuine and authentic to themselves. And that can involve a lot of things. What I mean by a lot of things, I mean most of the time everybody got baggage. Everybody got something that they living with, dealing with, experienced in their life that they may or may not have tackled. I know, being a melanated woman, I know a lot of times, we kind of we downplay therapy. We don't realize how talking to somebody, how that really can help us, and so we never do. And by us never doing it, we never are genuine, and true friends to one another. You just can't. The reality is you cannot help nobody until you can help yourself. You cannot be a good teammate until you are a good individual. And it's that's just factual, okay? So when I was watching this show, it kind of made me, and I'm gonna say this is episode probably 5 or 6. I'm gonna give some screenshots from it. But you want to do everything so that you don't get in no trouble over here on YouTube. But it was an episode, and I've been watching this show since it first aired. I can't remember if this is season 4, 4 or 5. I'm not sure, but I've been watching it since it aired. And when it first aired, I was kind of happy to see that they had found a way to do a show in Jackson, Mississippi, which we know is the capital of Mississippi. But it is a city that is not met its full glory since back in the day, right? And so I was excited. And I was excited to see, them bringing black businesses and, black owned or minority owned, but definitely black owned businesses to back to Jackson. And then this show highlighting Jackson. And then you could kind of tell, I don't know if you guys watch these shows, but when you watch them, you can tell kind of who was the person who pitched the idea, and who is kind of supposed to be the matriarch of the shows. And you can tell, of course, that is Leticia. Leticia. So I'm gonna make sure I'm trying to say her name right. And because it was kind of centered around her brunches and all of these different things, and everybody else is kind of people either she already knew or that they put together from being on living in Jackson or the Jackson area. Okay, so we're not gonna go through the whole concept of the show. We're gonna go through my whole reason about why I want to talk about it, because as I've been watching it for years, and being someone who's been on TV, who has now been on reality TV. And I understand that you got to make good TV. I understand that. I understand that you want to be a show that people want to watch, that people want to tell others to watch. So I get that. But what I don't get is being so much willing to do that you uh, show yourself in a bad light, or you create something that is not true or is not genuine just to possibly get more camera time. I believe in authenticity. I believe in your audience will find you. I don't think, and never will I be somebody who creates a false sense of who I am just for fame or for ratings or for views or this and that. I do truly believe everybody has their audience, and it may take some people longer to find theirs. But when they find you and you are being your authentic self, you don't have to worry about them leaving, because you won't change because you are being you. But when you can't keep up that facade or keep up that image that you have created, you're going to run into a problem. And that's kind of the same thing that I feel in regular relationships and friendships. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go back and forth with this show, and then my take on the show, my experiences, things with people as well. So that being said, I know that when a person is, they look at themselves as the person who brought this information. They're the one who gave this opportunity. They feel that they should get respect, and I get it. I think, I guess you should, because you brought the opportunity, you thought it up, you made the moves that needed to be made in order for you to get in this position. But what I don't like, or what I don't agree with, that I feel like I see, is that those people, i.e., Leticia, thinks that she is supposed to be the most successful. And if that isn't what she thinks, just for me, again, my opinion, we know they all like buttholes, but this is my opinion as a viewer. I think that she has a problem with people doing better or having more than her, or maybe in this moment being, better in business, bigger home, better husband, more supportive husband, or doing better single. I truly believe that she innately has a problem with any of those people if they are not up her butt and always applauding her more than they are applauding themselves. Now, this is just my take. I watch people, I see how people move, I see how people, and that's somebody who has kind of always been the person who think that the people are really their friends. And then it's not until I start doing better or start achieving something or accomplishing something that I start realizing and can see that these people who were playing my friend, or playing a supportive family member, they were only doing that as long as my light did not outshine theirs. And I kind of see that. I just see that in her. I see um that for as much as she wants to portray like she's team sisterhood and team everybody, that has, it's not unconditional. It has conditions. And the condition is, you have to always be up her butt or making her feel good before she's gonna make you feel good. She's fine with you feeling good as long as you letting her know that you really think you better than yourself, than she is. I'm sorry. And so what makes me think that, like I said, this most recent episode, you see, her and Latrice have been battling since the reunion of last season. And if y'all don't know who Latrice is, let me see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna pull up the picture with them two sitting next to each other. Where is it at? Okay, there they go. Hold on. So I got both of them on here. Hold on, y'all. If you don't know who Latrice is, here is Latrice. And actually Leticia. Latrice. I don't know. It take Marie to say her name right. Okay. So here are these two ladies. This one on the right is Latrice, and the one on the left is Leticia. And Latrice, younger, see, a little lighter colored, smaller, and she is married to an older guy who, he funny. Cliff, that's his name. Cliff funny. He's funny. He's I don't know what he's doing, how he's wealthy or whatever, but he seems like a smart businessman, and so he's doing his thing. And so seems like he's supportive of his wife and following her dreams, and she's driven, and she going for what she wants. Some fail, she moved to the next thing. But if you look at them, if you watch this show, you see the difference in them, right? The difference is several things. One lighter, one darker, one smaller, one bigger. One got a husband that's can give her a little more, the other one don't. They both are business women or have entrepreneurial mindsets. But one's entrepreneurial moves are moving a little faster than the other. So I say all that to say this as the person, right? You could tell Leticia looked at Latrice as maybe like a younger sister or something like that. And as long as she played that role and as long as she was that, everything was good. But now that she's allowed and gave her business and the things that she got going on a spotlight, um, Latrice has just continued to thrive and grow. Um, and you can look in Latrice's eyes and tell that that need to be successful is piled on top of a whole lot of trauma or experiences that she's probably had in life that developed her with the personality that she has that the way that she moves, the way that she deals with women, the type of man, a person you can tell it's all a core foundation for why she is how she is and why she moves how she moves. Let me put this just in case I'm not loud enough. Why she moves. And I think Leticia is jealous. I think that she don't really she hasn't looked at herself in the mirror enough to even actually realize that. She has told herself and everybody else so much that she's for the sisterhood. I'm proud of the sisters. I want all the sisters to win, that she really believes it. But she's not watching her actions that say totally opposite. And they just do. If you differ, if your thoughts differ from me, you can. We ain't got the same mind, so that's absolutely fine. I'm trying to make this be right, y'all. But and I just watched this episode right here. This is after they've kind of those two have decided to talk and kind of sweep things under the rug and move forward for the collective. But in watching it, I just don't think that they're going to do that. I don't think that they can do that because I think they both, just like everybody, all of us though, have personal issues that they need to deal with within themselves before they could be good friends and good people to anybody. I mean, I'm especially as female friends, right? Just truly, truly, truly keeping it real. Leticia is unhappy in her marriage and she's just trying to make it work. She has a insecure, narcissistic husband, all my opinion. They from been high school sweethearts from Lil Jackson. He probably, thought he was more attractive than her. Maybe he was getting more action than possibly she was back in the day, or whatever the case may be. He thought he was the prize. And then now she has pitched his show. She got the show going on, people knowing her. She getting a little check from that. It's also helping her build her brand. And he don't know how to handle that. Take it from Lisa Leticia. I done had them kind of men. And sister, of course, I ain't never tell nobody to break up no marriage. I wouldn't dare say that. But I will tell you this. When your joy is being stolen because you're trying to make sure somebody else keeps theirs, that is not the relationship for you to be in. And maybe you could be a better friend if you went on and either just took a little break or spread it yourself out or whatever you need to do to allow yourself to truly, truly find you and be happy with you so that you could then be a better friend, probably a better wife, a better daughter, better mama, all of the things. Because we can't be none of those things better until we truly, truly spend time on bettering and becoming the best version of ourselves that we can be. Now, we're going to go back over to me. Reason why I can say that daily, mind you, daily work in progress, still working. But what I can be honest with is that for the past definitely 3 to 8 years, I have been working so hard on me, how I view me, how I show up, what my actual purpose is. How can I daily live in my purpose and be pleasing in the eye of God? How my environment, how I want it to feel when I am around people. What does that feel like when I feel good? And then what does it feel like when I feel bad in the presence of people? And this is all kinds of people. And me praying Me taking a lot of time to myself, me being honest with myself when I look in the mirror and what it is that I see about me and what it is that I want to see. What do I want to change? People who I value, their opinion. What are they saying? What are they saying that I agree with? Like, and what based on that do I need to change and do I want to change? And I have found just a lot. And I'm so grateful to God first for giving me enough wisdom within myself to be willing to do that, to be willing to get a counselor, talk to somebody, and to be willing to let dead relationships go. If you are in any relationship, especially a friendship, and you don't feel like you can 100% be yourself and be comfortable in and around the people, those are not the people you should be around. If you are in friendships like these two ladies up here, where they at? Up there, where they are forcing something or what they're portraying on this show, because now we do understand this their job, right? And when it's reality TV, it's a job. Um, some people show up authentically, like I said, some people create for the entertainment factor. But we're gonna just use this and use these relationships as if we know they are 100%. This is them, this is the true thing, this is what they're doing. Okay, so that'll make it better for all of us. All right. So, me being a person who, like I said, has had people where growing up, I was always outgoing, always pretty smart, always talented, always a go getter, always business oriented, mischievous, rough, and at times not a good friend either. Right. Now, all of these things, this is when I'm saying young. I can actually now looking back, 55-year-old me, looking back on, I'm going to say 12 to 45-year-old me. No, yeah, 40, 45-year-old me. I can be honest, but from the parts of my life where I was not in control of my life because I was a child, you had friendships, you built relationships, and you just being kids, you just being young, just being teenagers. I know for me, I was never comparing myself to any of my friends. I was never trying to outdo anybody that I called my friends. I literally was just trying to be the best me that I could be, take advantage of every opportunity that I got because I was poor and I knew I did not want to be poor as an adult. So anything I knew to do, talent I had, whatever it was, I was going to be utilizing it because I foresaw me giving the young girl who, mind you, so grateful for my mother, grateful for everything innately that she contributed to me, DNA, and then what I saw outside once I was born and could see her working her butt off to make sure that she did her best and gave me the best opportunity to make the best that I could out of my life. So grateful. But reality is, financially, we was broke. Okay. But she still found a way to make sure that a parochial education was paid for to get me out of the hood, and that I did an extracurricular activity that was paid for, which was bowling, and then that I knew to join every other extracurricular activity that I could through school and stuff that was free so that it would allow me to meet different people, stay busy. I stayed busy. And I don't always good stuff, y'all. I'm just gonna be honest. But I stayed busy. And in doing that, it gave me the opportunity to just see so many things, meet different people, be around different races, different cultures. If you didn't know, I'm born and raised on the south side of Chicago in a neighborhood. First, it was a South Shore area, but I grew up from ages 12 on up in the area called Jeffrey Manor. So I am grateful. But what I am also able to know is that being the kid that basically my mother could only really afford my tuition. She couldn't afford to give me all of the things that these other girls, because it was an all girls school through high school, and then co-ed in we call it grammar school. But I really say grammar school really wasn't a problem. I don't think, I don't recall. I think it just became more of a problem. Maybe these people were shaping their ideas of where they thought my life was gonna go in grammar school. I don't know. I didn't start seeing it until later, and I feel like high school. But however, so I did not have all of the things, right? All of the material things and stuff that these girls had. A majority of them had because their parents, they just had more money than my mother. But what I did have was talent. What I did have was athleticism. What I did have was a work ethic for your butt. And what I also had was I was intelligent. I was mischievous. We're gonna make sure we keep throwing that in there, y'all, because I got put out the school. We're gonna talk about that later. But I didn't realize until I became an adult, and now that I was able to take all of these things, right? I did end up, going to getting asked to leave that school and going into another school in a suburban area where it wasn't all people who looked like me. It was all kinds of people. Actually, people who looked like me were in a minority. But I showed up there still as the same person, the choir, basketball, track, willing to join any club, any team, in any of the things. I still showed up as her because I'm proud of who that is. But what being in that environment did, where it wasn't so focused on who had this, who had that. When I joined teams, it wasn't like competition. It's weird. It wasn't the same feel that school was when my mother was paying all that money for me to go to school. I don't know if I got, because my mother's deceased now, but I don't even know if she got an opportunity for me to even share with her how, even though I get it, even though I get what she was trying to do, how that experience, those experiences in those Catholic schools, it was Catholic school, it was horrible. And I didn't like really any of it. Being able to have an experience of going to a public school, but a suburban public school, um, I would just say to any parents who are watching, and you're killing yourself to do what my mother was trying to do, which like I said, I get it, because it was about education and environment. I would say, especially now since you got school choice, I would definitely say try to save your money, find a school. It could be in your community, that you look at the curriculum, look at the students, look at the program. But that's free, and allow your child to be in a space in which they can thrive academically, athletically, uh, mentally, personally. Because a lot of times when we're doing the stuff that the schooling is based on the money that you have, the parent has, so forth, it makes the kids act a certain way. And it's usually not, from my experience, it hasn't been good. I am so grateful. I'm grateful for being bad and getting put out that school, because the person that I became at the with the other experience. Shout out to Thornwood High School in South Holland, Illinois. But that experience, my friends, the people I met, was just so much better. Y'all know I'm an emotional person, so just thinking about it, because I'm so grateful, because I may not be who I am today, um, had not my view on people changed based on me changing my environment. Which is why I also think that I became so oblivious to like friendships, especially with women, and how it could be so much cattiness and jealousy and envy, that you don't, like, I don't know and didn't know exist. Um, like, for real. I didn't even know it existed before I left that all girls school, because all of my friends that I was friends with, I didn't care. I didn't care about any of them things. I don't think a majority of them really cared that I was quote unquote the poorest one out of all of them. Because they would try to give me stuff and do, and so that I could have stuff, the same stuff that they had or whatever. So I'm gonna say the people who I really, really hung out with, I don't think that about them. Um, they know who they are. My crew, my freshman and sophomore year at it was Academy of Our Lady. If y'all from Chicago, y'all know it now. We called it Longwood, but now it's closed as a charter school. But my crew what I mean and who I mean. None of none of them. Um, some people, I think, grown living, uh in my life changing, I can honestly say now that I do feel like, and we're gonna be honest, I do feel like it was a box that they thought I was in when we were kids and that I was supposed to stay in. And me getting out of the box somehow changed the type of friend or person they then became to me. And so that's why like shows like this and all that makes me really think. It makes me want to share. It makes me want to talk, because I really, really, really want women, especially, for us to know that we are so much better as people, as wives, as parents, as co-workers, as spouses, as and even for ourselves, when we are honest with ourselves and when we work on ourselves, and and try our best to show up in the world the way that we want to be seen. And when we are together, like, I know better things happen, greater things happen when it is more than one person working for that ultimate goal. But when it is not a genuine um, desire of success for everyone in the group, then that's where the problem comes in. And I think that that problem only comes in when these individual people are so insecure in themselves that they don't want to see someone that's their friend outdoing them or having more than them, or now getting a light on them for whatever that is they may be. That's just not, it's not good. It's never going to be good. And I don't think as a people, I'm just saying women, we are ever going to do our big one the way that we can until we figure out a way to get this here thing in order. Okay. So now we're going to go back to the show. So this is during the quote unquote funeral. All this is going to tap into. They decide to talk. They decide to say, okay, we're going to come together. We're going to bring the collective together. But if you can look at the looks on their faces while they're talking and, excuse me, supposed to be being honest with each other about sharing, they putting it all on the table, and that's another thing, y'all. Women, when we do that, when we have these quote unquote kumbaya moments, when it's a group of women that are a group trying to hang together, and you have this kumbaya moment where we're gonna put it all on the table, I think that's the silliest, fakest thing that women that we can do. Real talk. Now you're gonna say, well, Monique J, why you think it's fake? I think it's fake because the reality of it is the chances of more than four women, I'm gonna put her little self on here. I think her name Carrie. But the chances of more than four women who all got all kind of hormones floating all over the place being able to get along and see each other equally, no envy, no jealousy, no problems with one another. I'm just being honest. This is again my opinion, and I'm let's be honest for a reason, because this is my honest opinion. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's real. I don't think it's possible, just because we all human. And that is too many personalities trying to 100% get along with and support. I just really believe, through my experience, it is gonna be always, once you go past that 4 mark, it's gonna always be one person trying to be closer with the other, or one person who really still don't like the way this one do that. And so then when they with the other one, they talking about what this one did that they don't like. And it's really just because you're trying to force something with somebody that you really ain't meant to be tight and close with. And I'm gonna be honest, like that's me. When I was calling myself a bad friend, um, I'm gonna be honest. I know I was a bad friend because I was trying to force myself to be friends with people that I really had nothing in common with, outside of we like to go outside and we like to go out. Really, other than that, it really wasn't much in common, especially the things that were important. And so I'm judging, how they do their relationships, how they do their love life, because I wouldn't do it that way. But then I'm saying it's my friend, but then I'm thinking a certain way once I leave, because they acting like somebody that I wouldn't be. And so then why would you be around people that are not like you? You're supposed to be around like minds, like hearts, like spirits, like actions. Old folks always said you are like the company you keep. So for me, why would I be around people or around somebody calling them my good friend, but as soon as I get away from them, I want to talk about all the things that they did while we was together that I didn't like or that I don't agree with. Hold on, y'all. That I didn't agree with. So I had to be honest with myself. And it wasn't just one person, it was a few. I was like, you're not, how you saying you want a good friendship? You want a genuine friendship, but you ain't being good and you ain't being genuine. You forcing yourself to be around and to be in a friendship and to be around somebody or people that you don't even really like that. I had to be honest with myself. And in doing so, I started then also being honest with them. So what did that mean? That meant that I am now going to, instead of only thinking about what was best for this person or what was best for these people to make them feel good and feel happy, I started thinking about me. Hold on. And so when I started doing that, we just gonna keep it real. When I started doing that, that meant that my actions changed to these people, and I started matching the energy with not making them feel like they're more important to me than me. And when I started doing that, y'all, like real talk, a lot of the people got mad. um they started letting what I now know was their true thoughts of me out, right? They got mad. I'm sorry, y'all. They got mad. They started acting differently, um and really showing their true colors, talking about me, just a bunch of things that I was just like, okay, God, thank you, because I now know that That's why I was feeling like I was feeling in the first place. And it was because they was really probably only being friends with me because the friendship served them in the way that they needed, but it really wasn't serving me. Not only that, they really wasn't nobody that I really wanted to be or feel like I should have been friend or as close to as I was claiming to be. So again, I have to say I was a bad friend. But you can't become a good friend or a better friend until you are willing to look at yourself and acknowledge that. Groups of people hanging together, fake, talking about each other as soon as they leave. If it's a group, like I said, more than four, two or three somewhere talking about the one that ain't there, spreading the business that they didn't tell to each other. Just all the stuff that is sad. You in your 40s and 50s that you still doing. Okay. So now I'm gonna go to these ladies. So this lady right here, this lady name is Carrie. Carrie is new to the show. This is her first season. Carrie seems successful. Husband is a former baseball player or whatever. And so they, they own some restaurants and she do some speaking and some different things, very good down in the Gulfport area, right? And when she came to the show, of course, you always want to see women doing great things, especially melanated women. So when she came, I, like her personality was bubbly and all that, and she kind of always a straight shooter. She say what's on her mind. You could tell though she was trying to make her stamp on the show. She wanted to make sure that by her being new, people weren't like me doing reviews saying, what's she doing there? She pointless. She don't bring nothing to the show. This is that. So I feel like she added a little more to her personality. I don't think her personality is different because when you see her engaging with her family, you can tell they don't look shocked at how she's talking or how she's acting. I think she did what people know to do, what I knew to do, and what let's turn your personality up just a little more because you're now going to be on national TV. Now, I was fine and good with Carrie into this episode. Am I looking point to this episode, this burying episode? Because Carrie thought it was her duty. Now I had to bring my girl up because I love her. Hold on. Oh no, not her. I mean, she okay. Let me not say it like that. Here we go. She thought it was her duty. Y'all know Selena. If y'all used to watch Bring It, if y'all used to watch Bring It on, Selena. She was Sanjay mama. Not was she Sanjay and the twins' mother. So I'm gonna keep Selena on here on the screen too. Okay, so Carrie thought it was her duty or her job. Now they talking about things and they like putting things on the table. Now for all the conversation, it was more things that they had with each other, right? They talked to Tambra. They was trying to throw Tambra off the show. I got Tambra. I'll show her later. She's sitting next to Selena. We'll kind of touch in on that. They was trying to throw her off the show in a sense. But see, this is what I'm talking about, that Leticia. The one in the middle of this table standing up that you could tell she the one that brought the show. She didn't bring in her little friend, who you could tell is one of her little, I don't say lap dog, but she is her friend. She say genuine true friend, but I feel like what she means by that is this girl may tell her the truth, but she ain't gonna never tell her so much of the truth that it may make Leticia decide not to want to be her friend no more. So Leticia bringing this girl, I don't even remember her name. Shantae, maybe, I don't know. But Leticia bringing this girl, her friend, and she really is just the bone carrier. She is saying, you can tell they're friends, so they talk not filmed, and she is saying all the things that Leticia want to be said, but she don't want to say on the show because she trying to keep up this image of she's such a sister that she trying a sisterhood. She for the sisterhood like she been doing. I think that'll be good right there. Like they've been doing, or like she been doing for this show since this show started. But those of you who are like me and then been through fake friendships and fake women, you know that's a lie. So, however, Leticia brings her friend on board, and her friend is carrying bones. But I also see what's happening by me understanding this here reality show stuff. Um, I know that she is doing that because she's trying to get rid of Tambra. Tambra, maybe I could bring Tambra on here. Matter of fact, I'll do the picture that's got both of them so that way. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, we're gonna go. Where is it at? There. Okay, so we got to get Tamara. We're gonna get all of them on here. So I can go through real quick because this look like it's gonna be a little longer than I planned, but I'm gonna cut it up in snippets for y'all. But let's get Tamara on here. Good. Okay. So Leticia, she don't like Tamara. Tamara is the one to the right. She want Tambra to be sharing all. Tambra is one of the known radio DJs there in Jackson for the radio station. Um, I can't remember what is it, WJMX or something like that. I don't know which one she on, but she on Jackson radio. Tambra is known in Jackson. Tambra has an image to uphold. She's in media. So Leticia don't like that Tambra ain't putting them all up in all her personal business, right? But Tambra hasn't done it because Tambra has learned that for whatever reason, either for to do good TV or whatever it is, whatever the reason is, Tambra has learned that these ladies ain't her friend, and that for the sake of wanting good TV, they will throw you under the bus. They will search for lies. They will make up stuff. They will do anything just for them to be and get more camera time, is what I believe. So during this funeral of the bad things of the friendship, she's telling Leticia is telling the people, that she wants, Tambra, are you sure you want to be here and all this? Now, mind you, Tambra ain't said she don't want to be there. Tambra's being there. Tambra dad didn't had a stroke, and Tambra still was here at this thing. Tambra missed the baby's performance, trying to make sure she there to film and all that. So it's silly to ask her, does she really want to be there? What it is she trying, because unlike her image she trying to put up, y'all, she really is jealous. She really does not want anybody on that show who is more successful than her. If them being more successful than her means that they not gonna kiss her butt. My opinion again, but I'm just being honest. So that being the case, Tambra ain't gonna kiss her butt. Selena ain't really kissing her butt. Selena sweet. Carrie ain't even really kissing her butt. Latrice ain't kissing her butt. Marie don't really kiss her butt, but she do just enough to make sure that Leticia ain't gonna get super, super mad at her. So to me, y'all, all these things that I'm saying, if you ain't watched the show, watch it, and you can come back and comment in any of the videos, comment if you see the same thing I'm seeing. You can start from the first season and watch. If you've been watching, you can start and watching this season. But if you don't agree, of course, it's fine, because we all got our opinions, okay? But this is just what I see being a woman who has been in friendship groups and experienced and now know better than to build friendship groups with people who exhibit these type of characteristics that Leticia has. And I'm going to even get on Carrie, even though I kind of like her. I just think her desire for some TV time and make good TV, she doing dumb stuff. Okay. So what did Carrie do? So Selena, you see Selena didn't had a lot go on in her life, but she still is to me sweet as pie. Um, I'm a good judge of character. My discernment meter was off when I was young, but it's on point now, y'all. So yeah, when I be shifting and moving and don't be letting people come around or be close or hang out, y'all understand why? Because my discernment then said they ain't right. This ain't gonna be right, and it ain't gonna turn into nothing but some BS later down the line. So I don't do it. I be oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm gonna reach out, and I never do. Well, I will when I have time. Or I'll be like, oh yeah, So cause I ain't gonna say I lie. I don't lie. I just be like, yeah, I no, that's what I be like, yeah, I see what I can do. And what I'm gonna be able to do if you ain't proving and showing to me that you truly are a genuine person and that as much as you want you to win, you okay with me winning, you ain't gonna be in my immediate circle. Just that's just it. Okay, so Carrie. So Carrie is there. She really don't have nothing to really talk about at this table, at this thing, because she ain't been there long enough. Really don't nobody really have too much of a problem with her. The problems that they had with her is really small. They kind of said it to her. So I think Carrie did not want to be sitting at that table, and while the producers are watching and why she know the people gonna be watching, she not have anything to say or contribute because she don't want to get kicked off the show. Because early in the episode, she showed that she even losing one of her businesses, which means she's losing some money. So Carrie decides, now these supposed to be friends, and we sitting here doing this as friends, and we doing a sisterhood and a sistership. Carrie decides she want to bring up, because Selena finna get married to this guy she done been with now for some years. I know, seemed like at least 3 to 5 years. Seemed like a nice guy, just tell Southern from Mississippi. He ain't gonna talk too much. He on his show because Selena want him to be on, because that's his woman. But he really seems to care about her daughters like him. So hey, them daughters. Oh Lord, we know them daughters is real. Anyway, we're gonna get off of me. So Selena is about to get married. Carrie decides to at this table while they talking about everything don't have nothing to do with none of their relationships outside. They talking about everything that's got to do with their relationships as the group. So as the group, as you see them up there, Carrie decides she want to bring up that word on the street. Now, I don't know if she been hanging with Mama Joyce or what, but word on the street is word on the street is, or somebody husband or somebody said that her fiance got a baby on the way. Now, first of all, that ain't got nothing to do with the whole theme of this conversation that they having. Secondly, why would you say that right now on national TV? But you supposed to be her friend. Why would you bring up something that you don't even know to be true on national TV? But you supposed to be trying to show this woman that you want to be her friend and you want to build a sisterhood with her. Why would you do that outside of it's a lie? You really don't want to build a sisterhood. You getting TV time and seeming like you contributing to the conversation is more important than that woman's feelings, than what this woman is going through right now and what she's preparing for and to be married. Mind you, y'all, this that she's bringing up is a year old when she bringing it up. Now we know they filmed this show probably last year this time, but it's a year old when she bringing it up. Then she's bringing up something that somebody commented on social media under a photo. Is that her friend? Do she really want to be her friend? Or is fame, TV time, and mess more important? Because I don't care. I don't care if it's she understand they on a reality show or not. That's still her business and her life that you are affecting by saying it. So that's not her friend, and that's not nobody who really want to be her friend. They want to be famous and want to have that money over wanting to have genuine relationships. And this is what I mean by even me being blessed to, do the things that I do, but definitely, currently now being on worldwide TV. It was discussed with us like what this would be like, what people are gonna comment, people are gonna give opinions on what you do and what you say. And then even once you start building a following and people are following you, and now they're going to feel more inclined to give their opinions and say things. And are you prepared? Are you me, i.e. me, prepared that some things are gonna be supportive and some things aren't? And I told them then, most definitely, because what I won't ever do is show up other than who I am. So if a person has a problem with me being who I am, I don't really care, because grace of God and gratefully, I am comfortable and confident 100% in who that is. I am striving daily to become even more of a better version of myself than I can be every day, because one of my most ultimate goals is to leave this world a better place than I found it, in my way. That don't mean everything that I say gonna feel good and sound good to everybody. That don't mean everything that I think is going to be approved of by everybody. And I would be a fool to think that. But the greatest gift that I have for me is that I am 100% being my authentic self. So in doing that, I don't feel no kind of way, nor will I ever feel some kind of way by somebody not liking or having a problem with anything that I say or do. Hence why I'm talking on this sisterhood thing, and why I think it's so important to do the self work, so that when you show up as your best self, you can be your best self for the group, which will in turn, if everybody in the group is their best selves, then that would be the best group ever. But if you're coming in with baggage, if you're coming in with envy, if you're coming in with jealousy, if you're coming in with insecurities about yourself, you ain't doing nothing but bringing and dropping all that trash in the group, the sisterhood, that won't ever really be a true sisterhood in the way I believe that they're meant to be. So, Carrie, if you see this, I get it, sis. I get what you probably was trying to do, but based on what you do in the real world, and based on what it looks like your life and your family and your upbringing was like, because I love your mom. Just know that, to tell your mom I love her. I like she sound like that's gonna be how I'm gonna be when I get your mom's age. But it wasn't a good look, and I can tell it was intentional. Um, and it wasn't necessary. We like you. We like you because I know I do. Because I can tell you are being your authentic self. All levels of you, right? Because all of us got all kind of layers and levels of who we are. Hence why I do this here, I do something else on the other place. I have several social medias, because we are all multifaceted people. If you don't have a bunch of different layers, I mean, that's fine, you know. But I know I do. So Carrie, if you watch this, if Carrie see this, y'all share this, tag Carrie. Carrie, that wasn't a good look for you during this episode to bring that to Selena. It wasn't necessary, nor did it even fit in with the circumstance. And then and then at the end apologizing, um, and saying that you truly didn't mean to hurt her. That truly is a lie, because I don't know how you thought it was gonna feel good telling her that you hurt her fiance got a baby on the way. So you was lying. You could have just not said nothing. Be honest with her off screen, off camera, and say, girl, I know that was wrong. I shouldn't have did that. I'm new to this. I really just was trying to make sure I contributed something in this conversation, because I didn't want to seem like a waste of space here on the show. And so, unfortunately, I made the poor decision to put your business in this. Apologize authentically and move on. She got a choice to accept it or not. Now, what I can tell you is it will show her what kind of person you are, because you will be more willing, just for the fame and the stuff for the TV, willing to throw somebody under the bus and hurt somebody. So if she was anything like me, Serena gonna be looking like at you like this. Cause Carrie, I'm just being honest, as much as I like you, I would then be second guessing you just from that. Okay. So future, hopefully you learn. Definitely love you, but just real talk. Selena, She's showing up. I would say if y'all don't watch it, watch her on this show. And I think she is probably the best example of what a real friend should look like on this entire Belle Collective show. What do you mean by that, Monique J? This, because you know who she's closest to, because she's not afraid to show it, but you know also that she doesn't have a problem with anybody else. She likes the rest of the ladies as well. You're just always going to have those people who you are closer to. And it's nothing wrong with that. That's why I said trying to bring together a group who are of more than 4 people, it generally does not work for the entire group being close. It's too many different personalities, different experiences. It's just too much. But what Selena does not do is she does not talk about the others to the others, even when they are talking about one of the others to her. She does not give her own personal take or start talking about the person too, just to make the conversation flow or go. And it's probably because she doesn't have a problem with any of the other ladies. Or if she does, she cares enough about how she looks and about not even how she looks. She cares enough about how she shows up and just who she shows up to. Forget people, God. She cares enough about that she's not going to sit here and be probably what she don't want people to be to her. And that's what I say about learning how to be a good friend. That don't mean you agree with everything your friends do. That don't mean that you like everything that they do. But here's my thing. If you got a problem with something, if you don't like something, share it with that person. And once you shared it with them, if you shared and talk about it with somebody else, at least they can't say that you didn't share it to you. You talk behind their back. You tell me tough, but behind their back, but you're not that in front of their face. If you expressed your feelings to them, then that's what's required. But to sit and think a certain way about somebody that is quote unquote your friend, but you don't talk about it until you leave them, you not really their friend, and they ain't really your friend. And if watching these shows, Love and Hip Hop, all these little shows, I watch all of them, y'all. That's my little ratchet, my guilty pleasure. I'm grateful that I'm just adult enough to know how to not allow what I see on TV to shape who I am as a person. But I do believe that you you should be able to look at other situations. I also look at them so that I could see if I see anything that I see on this show in my circle. I also look at it because it's a prime example that people a lot of times think money is everything. But these shows, Real Housewives, especially the Beverly Hills one, show you that money is not everything. Money does not bring happiness. You being a good, happy person within will just make money add to that happiness. But if you're ugly, you're ugly, you're jealous, you're not confident, you're not truly connected with God, and so much so that you're willing to want to be the best that you can be to be pleasing in God's eye, then chances are you are not going to be a good friend. You're just not. And if this is you, if you watching and you know you one of them people, 'cause like I said, I had to be honest with myself. I really was like, did you just leave? Soon as you left her, you getting on the phone calling somebody else to tell them what she just did. Girl, you ain't no good friend. And you need to right now stop being her friend and separate that from friendship to what it really is, an acquaintance. That's something that my counselor taught me. It was a circle of friendship, circle of relationships. And we had rings around the circle. And we labeled each category. Of course, I was in the center of the circle, and each ring outside of it is where you put family, then you family, close friends. Then you put friends. Then you put acquaintances. Then the ring was enemies. And when I sat down and actually start putting people where they belonged in my circle of relationships, that too was an eye-opening experience. And it was for me, was what I was supposed to now take to make the changes in my relationships as well. Not that I want to try to change people, not that I think people should change, because people should be exactly who they are. People should be who they are. You should never change who you are for anyone. You should always be yourself. What you should do though is make sure that you aren't hold on. Okay. You should always be yourself, but then you should always just be honest with the fact that maybe this friendship, this person that you met that you initially thought you liked, you didn't know them well enough yet to say and make them your close friend or your best friend or one of your greatest girlfriends or whatever. You didn't know them well enough to make that decision. And it's okay because ain't none of us perfect. What you have to do is once you realize that they don't belong in the category and the title that you gave them, you have to love yourself enough to change it and move them. Move them right on to the ring that they belong in. And that also means changing and adjusting how you interact with them in real life. And that's okay. Who you living for? Are you living to make other people happy or are you living to make yourself and God happy? Because understand, if you happy, God gonna be happy. Because generally you are should be working to be pleasing to God, and that will make you happy. And then if you want to remain happy, you won't be in spaces or places with people who don't make you happy. Right? Like it's just real talk. If you are around anybody that's so-called your friend, and every time you're around them, you don't feel comfortable 100% as yourself, or that you can be yourself, or I'll give you an example. You got some good things going on in your life, good things on the horizon, but you ain't telling them, that ain't your friend. Because you ain't telling them, because deep down inside, you know that they may not be happy for you, or they may now put this to the list of things that they gonna be competing with you for. Just a tip I learned. I don't share as much with a lot of people because I learned that. I'm gonna be honest, I probably only share with about 2 or 3 people what's going on in my life, what's on the horizon, what I've accomplished, what I'm working on. Because people have shown me that they really with their own stuff, right? Don't have nothing, I'm gonna say don't have nothing to do with me. But that they really they not team themselves, so ain't no way they could be team me. That's how I say it. And that's fine. I just want anybody, right? You should say this too. They should not be upset when you put them in the proper position that they have earned themselves to be in your life. And it's okay to not have a whole bunch of damn friends. Like, who does that anyway? I mean, I get you can have a whole bunch of people that like you. You can have a whole bunch of people who want to potentially support things that you do, but you also gonna have those that don't. You're gonna have those people that so-called call themselves your friends and your supporters, but they don't ever support nothing that you do. Put them people where they belong, ladies. Love you enough To stop allowing people to show up in your life that ain't working to be there to be the best version of themselves for you that they can be, and you should be being the same for them. If you having something, he goes, I'm gonna just say some check. I should have my those things together. But here's some things. Can your friends be at everything you got going on, especially if you always busy and always doing something? No, they can't. They can't. They probably ain't. And you shouldn't expect them to. That's everything, right? But point one, for me, my opinion, should they be at the things that you have let them know are some of the most important things that you do or that you have for this period in your life? They're your good friend, saying they're your unconditional, genuine, true friend. Yes, they should. But remember, you have to make sure you're letting them know how important this thing is to you. So when they know that, when they know this is something that you would love for them to participate in with you or to show up at for you, when you let them know that and then they still don't do it, don't make a way to do it, then I'm not saying that they're not your friend. I am just saying that they don't value what's important to you as much as you believe that they should. And then you have to act and start moving accordingly. That's another one of the greatest gifts I could have gave myself, because I did. I used to be running all over everywhere for everybody because I wanted to make sure that I was treating people the way that I wanted to be treated. But then I realized that that ain't what they butts was doing, because then when I have something or do certain things that are very important to me, which people know, my celebration for my charity, it's important. One of the biggest things. Now we're going into 23 years of doing it. Very important. I don't think that anybody who I consider some of the closest people in my life should not attend it. Don't happen but once a year. Same weekend generally every year. This year is going to be the fourth Sunday in July, but not. So that's the change. But I'm just being honest. Somebody, because they know how important that is to me, and I consider them one of my closest people that I invite to share in all of my life with me, and they don't do that, it's fine. I am just going to look at things a little differently, because I know that the things that are big for them and that are important to them, I am there for, period. Especially with these people who I feel this is the position in life that we are sharing and saying we have for each other. Okay. It needs to be like this, not like this. So that just naming one thing. Um, yeah, I'm gonna really say that's it, because my retreat that I do, um, it's not for everybody. Um, and I do have some people that, are in my life I consider good friends or whatever to me, that I just don't think that what I am accomplishing or striving to accomplish with the retreat, they may not be ready for. Um, there are some people who aren't ready for certain things, but you can see them like striving and making the changes in their life to get ready. And then you can have people who they ain't doing nothing different. They just okay with where they at in the moment. And I'm just being honest, those kind of people are not anybody that I would invite, because it's not just let's go have fun on a trip in Jamaica or wherever we end up going. It's not that. It's really for what I named it for: release, revive, refuel, achieving success through genuine sisterhood. And I put the word genuine in there for a reason, because I want people there who are not competing with other women. They only competing with themselves. I want people there who don't think that they are above somebody else or think they're better than somebody else. I can't stand it. If you all were here for the beginning of the video, you know why. Going to that school that I went to, that Catholic school, all girls school, that is one piece of trauma and scar that it has put on me that I don't think is ever gonna come off. I can't stand people who think that they're better than somebody else because of what they have, because of what they look like. Yeah, that's really it. Because of what they have and because of what they look like. It is one of my biggest pet peeves. If you are somebody who is like that, that is a surefire way to make sure we ain't never friends. And once I see it in you, because sometimes people can trick you, and you can see that they are self-absorbed, but they play like they also are about other people and women and sisterhood and all this stuff. And so, some people have snuck by me with that. But then, you know, authenticity and true you are always going to come out. So then, always at some point, I am able to see by the actions that they do that they really playing like Leticia, where she over there, playing like Leticia, that you are about sisterhood and you want the sisters to come together and be successful women and be together and everybody be supporting each other and all of that stuff that they say. But then you truly have a problem with giving the same thing to everybody in the group that you expect, or you in the group thinking you outshining the group. You in the group talking about you the biggest, baddest, best one in the group. How is a sisterhood in a circle, but you think you above it? No. And even in the retreat that I host and co-host with the lovely Deshanta from the Power and Health and Wellness, even in that, like, yes, I'm the host. Um, yes, I'm the curator. But you guys, and if anybody has attended, you can tell me if you don't agree. You can tell that I work very hard to make sure that it doesn't seem like I'm just everybody under me or something like that. Like I can't stand it. And my friends and my people have to tell me, no, Monique, it's okay. This is your thing. It's okay for people to want to take a picture with you or you curated the group. Curating the group does not mean you think you above the group. And so that's something that I have to work on because I don't want that to ever seem like that's what I think, because that is not what I think. But I do have to also be able to understand that I can give myself my applause and allow people to give me my flowers while I live. And it doesn't mean that I'm thinking I am exalted above them or better than them. So again, like I told y'all at the start of this, I'm constantly working, and as I'm even talking here, which is why I like doing this on the Let's Be Honest show on my YouTube, because on my other stuff, I allow other people to kind of come in and give their comments and their point of view, and it'll throw you off. And I do a lot of self-analyzation by just self-talking. I'm talking to y'all, but I'm talking to myself too. So that is why, how I deal with my retreat in the way I do. I just feel like everybody ain't meant to be everywhere. Every person in your life is not meant to engage with every person in your life. There are people who are closer to you than others, and it's okay. I don't care how long you've known people. Just because you've known somebody 25, 30, or 40 years does not mean that they deserve to be in the front row of the theater of your life. Does not mean that they are truly your friend, your ride or die, or none of that, because ride or dies act like ride or dies. It ain't just based on time. It's based on actions. It's based on how they show up. It's based on how they make you feel when you're in their presence. If they I'll give, because it was just some. I don't even know if I gave a review on my retreat last year. It was such a great experience, as it always is. But it was eye opening, as it always is too. And I saw some things that opened my eyes. That's why I talk about sisterhood so much. I saw some things from people that showed me that everything what people saying out their mouth is not what they really mean. And definitely watch their actions. Make sure that if something is a priority to you and the people that you allow to share in that thing that's a priority to you, if they don't act like it's a priority to them to support what's a priority for you, they shouldn't be around you. They definitely should not be at something that you feel is a priority. And that you want to be surrounded by people who uh want to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing is a success. So much so that they're going to be engaged. They're not going to be looking to be the center of attention when it's not their time to be the center of attention. Because anything I do too, I always like to highlight each and every person. So nothing, you don't have to do that. You don't have to fight for attention at things that I'm doing because I have no problem with sharing the spotlight. It's about women and who we are independently and the differences that we have that make us our individual amazing selves, right? But again, like I said, if you don't know that, it's going to be hard for you to show up in a room with other women or be a part of any kind of sisterhood or any kind of circle with women who do know that. So continue to work on yourself. For these ladies of the Belle Collective, I think I touched on everything that I wanted to. May talk on it again, but for these ladies of the Belle Collective, and for anybody who is striving to be on TV, reality TV, scripted, whatever it is, please don't lose yourself and who you are authentically created to be and should be for fame, for popularity, for money. Because if you are creating, now mind you, you're scripted and you creating a character, that's fine. But if you are doing something and it's like, even if you're content creating and or if you're, any of that and it's supposed to be about you and who you are, but you are changing who that is just to fit what you think other people want to see that is going to allow you to be successful, I can about 99% guarantee you it's not going to last long and definitely not forever because you are building this thing on a fake, unstable foundation. And most things built on a unstable, shaky foundation are destined to fall. Be who you are. Trust God. Pray every day. Show up as your authentic self and wait for your audience. Be grateful for the audience that you have now. And love yourself enough that you don't allow anybody who has shown you that they are not for you, they are not clapping for you to win, that they are somewhere with a voodoo doll or probably some potions wishing you to lose. Don't let them people be in your circle. And I promise you, they will show themselves. All you got to do is watch how they act, especially if you are in a space or in something where it's supposed to be about you. And they find a way to make it about them. Or they're not there giving you your flowers. They ain't there clapping their hands for you. They ain't there helping you or offering to help or whatever it is that you may be doing that this is about you. And when you see them somewhere in their phone or doing their own selfies or going off and it's supposed to be an attention and everybody attention on you, but they somewhere thinking about them ain't your friends. You need to get them away from you now because they are not secure enough in themselves that they know how and when it's okay to give somebody else they shine, especially if it's somebody you so-called care about and friends with. Just saying. Well, I have met my hour and 30-minute goal. I don't know if y'all heard my stomach growling, but I'm hungry. So I'm about to go find me some food. If you do not watch, again, you do not watch the Belle Collective on, definitely watch it. Again, I'm not never gonna be rooting for nobody who even gets this type of opportunity to not win. I'm just gonna root for the ladies to make sure that they showing up as their authentic selves. Even if you know you gotta turn your little personality up, that's fine for TV because people do want to be entertained. But turn up who you authentically are. Don't create no fake person or fake information or make up something that you know is going to be hurtful to somebody just because you want to be seen. Don't do it. Because I can promise you how you show up for others is what the same thing that you're going to get back. I tell people that all the time. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You can't ask for something that you're not willing to give. And then when people show you who they are, like Maya Angelou said, believe it. People, just being honest, people ain't perfect, but people don't need no 10th, 11th, 12th chances to know how to be a good friend, but they know what they want in one. If you know what you want in one, you should know how to be one. You shouldn't always be the person thinking you're supposed to receive something, receive all this good treatment, but then you ain't never willing to give it. And you literally, and then if you are the giver doer person, check yourself. Don't be going out your way for nobody that you know ain't going out their way for you. Everybody do things differently, right? Like everybody knows. Like I tell people all the time, if you my friend, you know it ain't nothing, especially my good genuine friend who I call my sister friend. Ain't nothing that I wouldn't do for you. Really. You know that. But you also know what type of person I am. Like what I'm good at, what I'm not, what I do, what I don't. Um, and then me vice versa for my friends. That's what happens when you are unconditional. You accept people for who they are. Right. And so what do I mean by that? My friends, my true friends know you can call me at any time. Drop it a dime. Most of them are on my favorites. So my phone is generally gonna ring. Um, even when it's after hours. If it's not, and you call me and you say you called me, and I say, "Oh shucks, I missed it," and you're somebody that I don't want to miss, I'm gonna put you. I'm gonna make sure that I take the time. I got to do it right then and there because I got to do my gummies because I forget and put you in my favorites. And I am going to pick up. I am going to answer. I am going to give the advice that I could give. I'm going to give the knowledge that I have. I'm going to sometimes do the stuff for you that you need me to do, whatever it is you're talking about. That is me. That's what I'm good at. That's how I am. Also, it's some special day for you or your birthday or whatever the case may be. I'm going to make sure I ask you, what are your plans? Are you planning something? If you are, I'm going to make sure that I'm there. I'm going to make sure that when I'm there, I'm helping you. I'm going to make sure I offer to help you so that you know that the things that I'm good at, this is what I am doing to make sure that I show you that I value your friendship. Now, if you my friend and you know me, you know what I ain't going to do. I ain't finna be cooking no meal for you for your dinner. I don't cook. I don't like to. But will I say, hey, let's meet up. I'm going to take you to dinner? Yes. When I do that or I offer and do that, that's how you know you really, but that's my friends know what I am going, what I'm good at and what I ain't. You're having something. I'm going to generally show up 90% of the time, unless I just can't. And then if I can't, I'm going to let you know that I can't. I ain't gonna not just show up. And then if it's something that you are supposed to get a gift or a award or something at, I am going to make sure that I send you something or give you something because that's what I do for people who I genuinely consider my sister friends. No, I'm not going to do that for everybody. I may start out that way because I thought you was my sister friend, But then you showed me that you don't never show up at nothing I ask about or ask you to do. And it's always me seeming like I'm going to you. Once I notice that and realize that, you'll see that I stopped doing and coming. And when you ask me, you're used to me saying yes, 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 yes all the time. You'll realize the answer now is no. And I can't. Because you have now shown me that you are not willing to do for me what I've been doing for you or what you expect me to do for you. And it's okay. We ain't not friends. We just ain't close friends or sister friends. Because my sister friends, ships ain't one side, period. And it's not all this about money. It's not all just about you. It's about showing up for people at things that they've let you know is important to them as they're supposed to be close sister friend. If you don't do that and you know that you are not capable of doing that, it's fine. Just don't expect people to do the same for you. The people you call yourself close to achieve something, do something great, and you don't applaud them, you don't share, call, text, understand that they know that you really ain't rooting for them. Especially if you are somebody who call when you need something, text when you want something, share when it's something about you or anybody else in your life that you so-called that you care about. But you think that your friend or your person thinks that you care about them, but you ain't shared when they do something great. That's the giving sign right there, because you compare. Share, no share. Congratulate, no congratulate. But I'm gonna just be honest with you. My for me, my close sister friends, when it's especially something that they doing or something that they achieved, yeah, I expect more than the congratulations in the chat. I'm just being honest with you. Hey, what I just say, people can't do what you don't tell them. I expect a quick 1 second share. It don't take but a second. Share. You ain't even got to put a caption sometimes. Just share. Because then that shows me that you are giving the applause that you gave to me privately. You're giving it publicly because you understand, especially me, what I do and how I take care of myself and how I help the world is all based on exposure. The more exposure, the more help, the more growth, and the more success I can have in all of the things that I do. When most of the things that I do, the majority of them always involve helping somebody else. So, all right, guys. We think we on my Rumble, we on my YouTube, and we're on Facebook. So if you are watching on either one and you're not following me on the other, please go and subscribe or follow on Rumble if you're watching on YouTube and Facebook. And if you're watching on Facebook, go and subscribe to the Monique J channel, aka the Let's Be Honest with the Monique J channel with the Let's Be Honest show on YouTube and on Rumble. And if you are on Rumble, you do the same thing on YouTube and Facebook. Okay. And all of my other things you can read in the description. This shirt I got, I don't know if y'all like it, but if you do, I'm not gonna stand up and show it full, but it's my TikTok showcase. It's in my TikTok showcase, and my showcase to my TikTok is in my link tree, which is in the description. I am a coach in mindset, finance, and business, budgeting, finance, and business. You can visit the link in the description to enroll in a course, to subscribe to my website. Let me get these ladies off. Hold on. To enroll in a course, to subscribe to my website, to purchase my books. Do I have a book up here? Oh, yep, I do. This is my latest book. It is available on the Prime Play. Oh, I'm saying the Prime. It's available on Amazon and it's available on TikTok. Amazon, if you have Prime, you can order with your Prime. It's free. I mean, it'll be free shipping. It's called Power, Passion, Purpose, and Prayer. It's the second book in this series, and it's called The Journey Continues. It is a self-help book. This one I think is maybe 17.99. You order from Amazon, it will just be shipped directly from them. If you order from my website or on TikTok, you have the option of getting a signed copy. This is just one of my books. I also have, I don't think it's up here, but yes, I'll show it to you. I don't think it's up here. I also have a book called Smart Money Moves, a teen's guide to financial literacy. That is going to be on all the places as well. TikTok, my website, and on Amazon. So, and then I have a couple other books as well, but these are my latest two books that I released in 2025. Not sure if I'm going to have, I think I'm going to have the young adult version coming out. I always try to release books on my birthday. So September, I may have the one that's going to be for young adults, which is basically, well, adults, new adults, 19 to 35. So yeah, I think that's it. If you have not subscribed, all of the things to connect with me are down in the description below. I am going to try to be, of course, as an accountant, it's busy time right now, so I'm not going to tell a lie because it's a Let's Be Honest show. But I am going to try to, if nothing else, every other week, put a episode up on this Let's Be Honest show channel. And because I'm weekly on my other channel, which is the Proud Mary podcast, which is another side of me. Every side ain't for everybody. Just want you to know, but I'm gonna always be found being me. Okay. So in the meantime, between time, I pray that everybody who is watching or who watches later, if you watch the rebroadcast or you catch it later or you catch it short and you see this, I just pray that everybody is striving daily to be their best selves, to be authentically who you are, and to make sure that you're surrounding yourselves with people who make you feel comfortable being who you are as you are around them. May God keep you, bless you, cover you. And until next time, I pray that you remain in peace and not in pieces. This is Monique J. I will see y'all next time. Bye.